he was like, champions are broken. I was like, huh. He's like, people look at champions and try and find something that champion has that they don't have. He's like, but it's not that at all. He's like, they lack something everyone else has.
The very same things that create amazing company and amazing career art are the very same things that are complete.
Ruslan.
What are the attributes that make a great leader and a great entrepreneur? Alex Hormozi goes on Chris Williamson's podcast, and they have a very great conversation that I think has some good attributes, but also has some conflicting attributes that I don't know if they necessarily have to be true for everybody. And I noticed that after he said this on Chris Williamson's podcast, Alex also kind of tweaked some of this out. Okay, so let's jump into this conversation.
You found out the three most common traits of highly successful people. You remember those?
Yeah, it was, it's so funny. A superiority complex. So the three most common traits of hyper successful people that they looked at, and it was interesting because there's the influencer world wants to be like, you have to wake up at 5 or you have to do cold plunges or whatever the fuck, right? But the thing but there was actually very few that they all had in common. So number one was that they had a superiority complex. They thought they were better than other people and that they deserved more. The second is that they suffered from massive insecurity and feeling that they would never be enough. And third, they had impulse control. And so you've got this combination of people who are like, I want to do this big thing. So this big toward thing. And they've got this big away pain that's like, I'm never going to be enough. I always have to do more. And then they have impulse control that keeps them focused on the goal without seeing the moment in the red.
What do you think about that? Superiority complex, great insecurity, and impulse control. He's saying, that's what I'm saying. He's saying this or is this based on a study?
I couldn't find anything that said it was based on a study. And that sounds like bipolar. It kind of does.
It does.
That's in some Kanye level success.
It is.
You know, it's like, I don't know if I need to be highly insecure, highly superior, and good impulse control to be successful. I think
the impulse control is spot on.
Oh, I think that's spot on. But the other ones sound chaotic.
I think the slight bit of superiority, I could see that.
I could see that.
You
have to be able to like look at something and go,
I could do this better.
Oh, dude, this is easy. Yeah. I mean, that's what I do all the time. I'm like, no, dude, I got this. And you're like, Zach, you don't got this. We got to hire somebody.
We got to bring somebody else on to do this. Let's play the rest of this. And then I gotta tie in terms of how I've actually exhibited these characteristics from spirituality, from following Jesus. But I don't think that they're necessarily universally true for everybody.
So it's like shoot high, have a big thing that motivates, like have a big tiger behind you and stay on the path.
Have you ever heard Jordan Peterson talk about that study of starving rats in a tube with a spring attached to their tail?
No.
Brilliant. This is what you're talking about. So starving rats are placed into a tube, and they have a spring that is attached to their tail that can measure the force that they pull at, and that's a proxy for desire. Then they waft the smell of cheese in from the front of the tube, and the rat pulls, and they measure how hard they want to go. And you think these rats are starving, they would be pulling pretty hard. Then they do another iteration of the study. This time they waft the smell of cheese in from the front, but they waft the smell of a cat in from behind, and the rats pull harder.
Yeah.
And what's the...
This is a good study.
That is crazy.
How much of us being chiseled into the people we want to be is driven by positive reinforcement, and how much of it is being driven by
Darkness.
Yeah.
Right? The times where I've changed my life or my physical health or my financial state the most has been from a place of
Darkness.
Right? Think about it.
Yeah, totally.
It's to the point where this is going to sound crazy to some of you guys. I've had to talk about this with my therapist. I had to talk about this with Dr. Rudy, and he basically told me it's good that you channel your darkness into something constructive.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it eat at you or feeling bad that you're channeling it into something productive.
Well, if you do the opposite, then you turn into Fuzi Tube. Right?
Yeah.
I did something, I was really passionate about it, and I failed at it. So I pretty much created an internal story of where I should never actually try for anything now.
Yeah, that's good.
And then that's real darkness.
Real darkness.
Lesson that you not only need to run towards something that you want, but you need to run away from something that you fear. Now the problem, and this is, I like superiority complex, crippling insecurity, impulse control. Right? I like that. The problem is, the people who we admire the most, due to the most success in the real world, don't necessarily have the most admirable internal states.
And that's the issue, is it not? The very same things that create amazing company and amazing career art are the very same things that are complete chaos in someone's personal life. Right?
Yeah.
Kanye, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all these guys are what? Divorced, multiple kids. Well, Kanye doesn't have multiple kids, but multiple moms, but he probably will.
On the Epstein fly list.
On the Epstein fly list, right? it's utter chaos in terms of how this plays out in their personal life. Yet in their motivation in building something cool, it's makes them successful.
To me, isn't necessarily the most peaceful, blissful way to live your life.
That's a W take from Chris. Chris was on a different video, totally butchering Bible verses. He's crushing this on here.
Yeah.
Say that, especially in the modern world, we revere the people who have external accolades of success, and yet the three most common traits of these super successful people lead from a place which is almost objectively
miserable,
unadmirable. Yeah. How do we square this circle?
Come on.
I think it's just, what are we solving for? So, a lot of people, I love watching Last Dance, which is Michael Jordan's, mini docuseries.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, unbelievable. I think most people could see him there and be like, I don't know if I really envy this guy's life. Like, he still seems like pretty.
That's what I thought when I watched it. I was like, yo, this is dark. This fool was nuts.
I haven't seen
Jordan was psychotic, bro. He was nuts. He would take something that someone would say and internalize it and create this whole story of how this person disrespected him. And then would, the next time they see them, would like completely go and try to humiliate the person on the basketball court over something. And then sometimes they find out that the person didn't even say that. He just literally made up a whole play in his head.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
That's amazing.
Despite being a billionaire, despite all these other things. And so I think that what are we solving for? Like my closest friend, Dr. Kashi, he has a statement because he coached Olympic teams. And he was like, champions are broken. I was like, huh? He's like, people look at champions and try and find something that champion has that they don't have. He's like, but it's not that at all. He's like, they lack something everyone else has, which is an off button. They just don't stop.
I mean, he's right, bro.
That's crazy.
He's right. There's no off button. Even when I'm off, I'm never off.
Yeah.
Even when I'm playing with my daughter, I'm still thinking.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
At the end of the day, like if we're optimizing for outcomes, then the most broken person will win. The person who has the absolute biggest, desire for achievement, the absolute biggest fear or pain that they're running away from, and the hardest impulse control. Now, impulse control, most people would agree is a good thing. The other two, not as much. And so, what are we optimizing for? What problem are we solving? It's my favorite. It's probably the number one most frequently asked question that I ask to our portfolio companies whenever we're about to do anything, which is, what problem are we solving? If the problem that we're solving is that I want to be content, well, there's a lot of ways to do that. You don't need to do all these other things. If the problem you're solving is that you want to be the richest man in the world, well, you're going to have a lot of superiority complex. You're going to have a lot of crippling insecurity, and you're going to have a lot of impulse control, and you're going to have to wait a long time.
There's a quote from
That's a good take. It's a good take.
Yeah.
Play the rest of this because I'm
Jason
excited.
Pargin that says, accept that all of your heroes are full of shit. Your heroes aren't gods. They're just regular people who probably got good at one thing by neglecting literally everything else.
These are your heroes, guys. These are your heroes. This is why they say don't ever meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree with the statement.
Money. It's just so interesting to me. I've been thinking about this to do with Billy McFarland.
Let me just get this in.
Hit it.
And that's okay. Because if they wanted that, then that's the problem that they're solving for. Like, I get criticized all the time for work-life balance. People are like, well, you don't have any hobbies, Alex, and you don't whatever, right? And I'm like, I don't want any. So why do I have to sacrifice things that I would prefer to do things I don't want to do to satisfy your objective measure of what you deem as work-life balance? Why?
This is where you were talking about, was it optimized for the outcome, or what's the metric of success?
Yeah.
You were saying, like, what is it that people are optimizing for?
Right.
It seems to me that you have stepped back and
By
decided.
the way, pause it. I'm the same way. What's my hobby?
You got no hobbies. It's this.
I go to the gym.
Okay, yeah.
I go to the gym for a couple hours a day. And I'm trying to get into UFC.
MMA. That shows how much you're trying.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Hey, you may not know I make music, but I have a brand new song that just came out. Here's a quick preview.
In a moment, I gotta overcompensate by building tabernacles while the world is rubbernecking Eve one in the Adam's apple. Whoa there, why you wanna go there? Time to shut the door cause we letting out all the cold air.
Yo, Double R back, baby. It's not for Rolls Royce, it's for Rap Ruslan. Let's get it.
So hit the link in the description or go to RuslanToTheMoon.com to stream now. I'll see you over there.
Why you wanna go there?
Thematically, this is the thing that I'm optimizing for.
That I enjoy most doing.
Yes.
I enjoy playing the game. And so everything I do is about the game.
Yes.
My podcast is called The Game. I draw pictures all day about business. I write books about business. I make content about business. I spend the
Pictures
rest
do
of
you
my
draw?
time.
I've never seen a picture
Oh,
from
dude,
you.
$100 million offers. A zillion pictures in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
are they done by you?
100%. All of the drawings are mine. And $100 leads has like 100 doodles in it. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you any good? Are they nice?
I think so.
Are they cute?
Yeah.
They got little animals in?
Yeah.
If they don't have animals in, I'm not going to look at them.
Oh, there's little bag of money, big bag of money. Like that's how
Nice.
dead serious.
Sweet.
But no, but like, and I spend the rest of my day doing business.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, why don't you garden? Because I don't care.
And here's the thing. So someone said, but you're not abandoning your family for success. And so this is the spiritual tie-in, I would say.
Yeah.
Superiority complex, crippling insecurity, right? Crippling insecurity from my childhood, crippling insecurity when I discover how much of a scumbag and a sinner I am, how I'm offensive before a holy God, how even my good works are but filthy rags to God, right? Superiority complex. But in Christ Jesus, I'm made new. I am born again, right? I don't know if it's okay to look at it this way. This is not theological, right? This is not theological, but it's that tension of like, I know that I'm a scumbag. I know how many mistakes I've made. I know my thought life sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm created new in Christ, and I have new desires, and I'm called his righteousness, and I'm called the saint in Jesus.
Yeah.
Right?
Christians do to non-Christians definitely have a superiority complex. Like
Yes.
from the outside in, they're like, you think you can be like Jesus?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm supposed to live like Jesus. Yeah.
But dig this. And the Holy Spirit does what? Gives me supernatural impulse control. Enough
third piece.
supernatural impulse control that comes along with a certain wisdom that, unlike Alex, unfortunately, this is not a knock at Alex, but unlike Alex, I actually understand the value of slowing down, of not completely immersing myself in just work all the time,
Yeah.
of the beauty of having kids. He says he doesn't think he wants kids right now. This is the part that people don't understand about kids, and it hit me the other day. When people meet my 2-year-old, most people she doesn't talk to.
Yeah.
She doesn't like. Right?
Yeah.
She's just kind of getting friendly with you.
She's been friendly with me. Don't
She's
play
been
me
friendly
like
with you
that.
for a while. But
We
like
homies.
but like she meets Ray.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything to Ray. So when people see other people's kids, most kids aren't googly and open to everyone like that. They're more reserved. But what they don't see is the time I get with her when it's just me and her, and how awesome it is to have a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So what I think Alex is like, I don't know if I'll love kids. It's like, yeah, but you haven't seen the fullness of my relationship with my 2-year-old that no one gets to see and no one really understands except other people who have kids. And the only way you would understand is if I shot parts of my life and let you look into it and see how cool it is to have a 2-year-old who's starting to say words, who's every time I run in the house screams, "Daddy," runs at me, gives me a big hug, right? No one really gets that. And so like, I think in Alex's case, I don't think he really understands how awesome it is to have kids. And so therefore he's operating from like, well, I just want to work. It's like, bro, there's very few things cooler than having kids.
Yeah.
And kids will bring that work-life balance, because now I'm in a place where even though it's always spinning here, I'm also intentionally going, Ruslan, slow down, because you can never get this time back with your kids. These moments, she'll never be like this again. She'll never be in between nonverbal and verbal. She'll never be saying these words this way again. Like, this is a very specific moment.
Yeah.
And like, just be present, just be in the moment, just enjoy this moment. You know, like I have that inner dialogue, and it's awesome. And so I think like he's saying things that are true, but they're void of the hope that I think the Christian paradigm offers.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of the fruits of the Spirit that apply to business, but there's also a handful that could contradict the cutthroat nature of business.
Absolutely.
Peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you also have to look at the fruits of the Spirit and say, how am I applying that to my family? And then it really contradicts the nature of the cutthroat businessman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to apply those evenly and live out the fruits of the Spirit evenly across your life, in your business and in your personal. And I think it shows that it's not just like, oh, I'm always on 10. I'm always whatever. It's like, but do you have peace? Like, can you just chill for a second?
And what is the point of making a bunch of money and buying a home and doing the thing, building the business, if you don't have people you love to enjoy it with? Right? So like Alex finds amazing fulfillment from work, as do I, as do you.
Yeah.
But at some point, it's also pretty rad to just hang out with people.
Yeah.
You know, and just hang out with people. people that you enjoy.
Yes.
Hey, this clip is from our daily after party stream. If you enjoyed it, consider signing up for our Patreon community for only $5 a month, where you get access to the replays of our daily after party streams, as well as the uncut extended versions of our podcast, Discord access that's private, and a discount code for our merch store, only $5 a month. And ultimately, it's the best way to help us contextualize the gospel of Jesus using media, podcasting, and of course, YouTube. The link for that is in the description or in the pinned comment. The perks are amazing. You should get on there. It's only $5 a month. I'll see you over there, all right? Peace.